Hello and welcome to Crystal Chandelier. Thank you so much for visiting this channel, and I hope that there is something in this message today that can help someone out there. So this is the fourth crystal that I would like to give you today, and this one is concerning growing older. I am in my 50s now, and as I have grown from 30 to into my 50s, I have went through a lot of different emotions concerning age. And I realized that growing older, just as many women used to tell me when I was younger, is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to feel your body breaking down or not have as much energy as you used to have. There were times in my life where I felt like I was too old to do this and too old to do that, and Satan was right there to tell me too, yeah, you're too old to do this and you're too old to ever reach this goal in your life. Well, I'm here to tell you that no matter how old you are in this life, or no matter what situation you find yourself in, there is something that God can do through you to help someone else. And in helping someone else, we always help ourselves. So what I realized in my own life is that I had to turn the issue of getting older over to God. And when I did, He opened my eyes to many, many beautiful things. You know, when I think back to when I was in my 20s, and I spent time in my 30s thinking, oh, I wish I was 20 again. But as I've gotten older, I realized that I wouldn't want to be 20 again as far as my life was concerned, because I was making a lot of mistakes when I was 20 years old. And when I was 20 years old, I was really deep into vanity and just trying to be everything that men wanted me to be in my life, instead of looking to God and saying, God, what do you want me to be in this life? As I've gotten older, I've learned many things, and so many things that has happened to me in my life and that God has brought me through, I can share with other people. And that's a beautiful thing about getting older in your life, that God is able to take your mind and your eyes off of beauty or physical things, and He can really start to bloom the flower of age in your life, and the wisdom that He gives us as we grow older. You know, thinking that I wasn't worth anything anymore, and things like that really kept me bound down. But then God showed me that, first of all, I'm so blessed to even be alive. Regardless of what state we're in our life, or if we're rich or if we're poor. I'm not rich, of course. So just to know that God can do things through me, even though I don't have a lot of money, or I don't have, I'm not considered, oh, you're so beautiful and all this stuff. I'm thankful that God is allowing me now to concentrate more on the inner Mary, the person that's inside, that little child who grew up, and that He's able to begin to expose that young child in me and see how innocent she is as far as loving and caring about people. There was a time in my life as I was growing older that people would make fun of me because of my emotions, or they would take advantage of the fact that I was an emotional person. If you're an emotional person, or you feel things, or you have deep compassion for people, never be ashamed of that. Do not spend as many years as I did being ashamed of that. You know, our Father in heaven said to us, in his word that we're like sheep among wolves. And that is such an important thing to remember in your life when you are a soft person. You see, many times it seems that Satan tries to harden us. So we'll want to be tough, or we'll want to be hard. And that's not truly who we are inside. And I really believe that I've seen many people in my own life throughout the years that seemed very hardened, but really inside were not. I'm going to give you an example of that. One day I was on the bus, and this man got on the bus, and he was a beautiful guy, I thought personally, but I didn't want to stare him down, so he thought I was some kind of, weird person, that was stalking him or something. So I just looked and I thought, wow, what a beautiful man. But it was more than just his physical. There was something different about him. So I was sitting down on the bus, and I realized, as God alerted my spirit, that this man was looking at me, but when I looked at him, he looked away. So that told me right then and there that he has been exposed to spirits that were unkind to him, because he didn't continue to just look or smile. He just turned away quickly. So it seemed that there was fear there, which is something we never want to create in another person. Try very hard in your lives not to create fear in other people. Fear is not of God. That is not something that I believe is a godly trait when we are in a situation where we're causing someone to be afraid. And take it from me, I have been that person before in my life. That's why I can tell you that leads to, first of all, destruction of the spirit. And it truly hurts the person that you are doing that to. So as I sat on the bus, I just thought, there's something different about this man. I just could not get it out of my head. There's something different about him. And to me, he kind of had the look of how Prince looks. You remember the musician Prince? He had that kind of face. So he was just a beautiful man, but it was something beyond the skin. It was something that his spirit was casting out, and it was beautiful. So I didn't get courage to speak to this man right away. So basically what happened is he got up to leave the bus, and I commented to him about the beautiful hat he had on, because he had a really nice hat on that I really liked. And so I said it to him, and as we looked each other in the eyes, I just started seeing the softness in his face, where before he had a hardness to his face. But all of a sudden, he had this softness come over his face. And when he smiled, it was like the sun rays of heaven just hit his entire body. And it just came out of him. And it was a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. And I thought, I'm so thankful that God allowed me to be there and to be used by him in that way, so I could see what light does to another person, and what it does also to me when I encounter somebody that has light or love inside them and they're willing to share that. So as we get older, things like that happen to us, lessons as far as learning lessons from God like that. There's been so many lessons that God has taught me throughout this life, and if he didn't, then I wouldn't even have this channel. I am in my late 50s now, and I never thought in a million years that God would actually give me a deep desire to be able to share with you the things that I've been through in my life, and things that I hope, which is my number one hope, that will touch you so you can have courage and you can have strength in God to be able to live every day, keep a smile on your face as much as possible, and most importantly, to trust God through every single chapter and subchapter of your life. Getting old is not a bad thing, people. It is a wonderful and great blessing. Some of us have gray hair. Some of us don't have gray hairs yet, but we're getting to that point. Begin every time Satan says to you things like, oh, you're getting wrinkled. He said this to me. Oh, you're getting gray hairs. Oh, you're going to be left behind. These are the kind of things that Satan will say to you. Oh, you're not worth anything anymore. Oh, the younger generation is better than you. They don't care about you. This is also not true. I've met many, many kind and loving young people in the generations that come after my generation. So please remember, no matter how old you're getting, do not let Satan drag you down with the lie of you're too old. Do not let him do to you what he once did to me and think that you're worthless or that you have nothing else to contribute. These are Satan's lies, and they are not true. So continue to trust God. Enjoy the age that you're at. Enjoy every single day of it, no matter what you're going through. And I just want to leave that with you for your chandelier. And so until next time.